almost destroyed my microphone. Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. It is dance day. Uh, for some reason, I was thinking it was like literally yesterday that we talked about how this device that I'm using to play the sound right now doesn't have any problems with battery. It was charged to 36%. By the time the screen turned on, it was at 30. By the time I came to the stream, it was at 21, and now it's at 1%. So hopefully it lasts long enough for us to actually play some music through it, but this is what we got. Sending you friends lovins. Thank you for joining me. The first track is actually a track suggested by Zana. I don't know if she's here already, but I see Rosie. Blessings to you, Shannon, Duck Dad, and Natalie too. There is Chauvin as well. Chauvin was actually the one who reminded me of this track that Zana wanted to listen to. So honor to her. Let's go, shall we?
I like where we are when we drive in your car. I like where we are here. Cause our lips can touch and our cheeks can brush. Our lips can touch here. When you are the one who hold me like close to me, with words hello, I miss you quite terribly. I fell in love with you suddenly. That is so much love I could be believing your arms. I like where you sleep when you sleep next to me. I like where you sleep here. Our lips can touch and our cheeks can brush. Cause our lips can touch here. When you are the one who hold me like close to me, with words hello, I miss you quite terribly. I fell in love with you suddenly. That is so much love I could be believing your arms. Our lips can touch. Our lips can touch here. Close to me, whispers hello, I miss you quite heavily. I fell in love with you suddenly. That is so much love I could be believing. When you are the one who hold me like close to me, whispers hello, I miss you. I fell in love with you suddenly. That is so much love I could be believing your arms. under your skirt. Yeah, I see you flaunt, see you talking, it's so sickening. I can't resist the way you flirt. Yeah, I should be dead, but my heart beats quicker now. I get the feeling this is more. It's an excuse just to shake your little derriere. That ratio a perfect score. And girl status is measured by a derriere. Now maybe you can help me get what I want. Curb your little spine and tell me that you're mine. It's all about the game and I'll watch you flow. Yeah, I know that there's no pleasing you when you know that you're not teasing me. She's an absolute terror for absolute territory. That's it, baby, take control. You're so intense and mesmerizing, don't know how to react. You're gonna steal my very soul. More manslaughter than the third impact, yeah. I see you strutting in my head. Double ticking, yeah, I'm shaking. You know it shows. This kind of girl just can't be beat. She whispers in my ear, take off your clothes. Lie down, baby, I should back now. Maybe you can help me get what I want. Curb your little spine and tell me that you're mine. It's all about the game and I'll watch you flow. Yeah, I know that there's no pleasing you when you know that you're not teasing me. She's an absolute terror for absolute territory.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's the night, let's live it up. I got my money, let's spend it up. Go out and smash it, like oh my god. Jump out that sofa, let's get on.
I know that we'll have a ball if we get down and go out and just lose it all. I feel stressed out, I wanna let it go. Let's go way
Look at her dancing, just take it off. Let's paint the town, we'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof,
and then we'll do it again.
let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and do it, and do it. Let's live it up and do it, and do it, and do it, do it, do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel tonight's the night. Hey, let's live it up.
Let's live it up.
I got my money. Hey, let's spin it up. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it.
Smash it.
Like oh my god.
Like oh my god.
Jump out that sofa. Come on. Let's get off. Fill up my cup.
Drink.
Mazel tov. Look at her dancing.
Move it, move
Just
it.
take it off. Let's paint the town. Paint the town. We'll shut it down. Shut it down. Let's burn the roof.
And then we'll do it again.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. Let's live it up and do it. And do it. And do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Here we come. Here we go. We gotta rock. Easy come, easy go. Now we on top. Feel the shot. Body rock. Rockin', don't stop. Round and round. Up and down. Around the clock. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Saturday to Sunday. Get with us. You know what we say. Party every day. Party every day. And I'm feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. Feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never. Ever after work is over. Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour work is never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster, makes us stronger. All the never over after our work is never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster, makes us stronger. All the never over after our work is never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster, makes us stronger. All the never over after our work is never over. Never over. Work it, make it better. Do it faster, makes it stronger. All that never power. Work is never over. Work it, make it better. Do it faster, makes it stronger. All that never power. Work is never over. Work it faster, makes it stronger. All that never power. Work it never over. Work it harder. Do it faster. Never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster, makes us stronger. Hour after hour, work is never over.
Baby, you're my essence, you make me lose my mind. I can't live a day here without you by my side. I won't ever leave you, I need you in my life. Without you, I'm nothing. What would I do without you here? Life would not be the same, my dear. I feel like I would disappear. Sounds a lot, but I'm so sincere. Baby, you're my essence, you make me lose my mind. I can't live a day here without you by my side. I won't ever leave you, I need you in my life. Without you, I'm nothing. Baby, you are my essence. Let me make a confession. You're all I talk about when you're not around. I need you in my presence. You always know what to say to me. You're everything from my A to Z. You're the only thing saving me. I need you now. Baby, you're my essence. You make me lose my mind. I can't live a day here without you by my side. I won't ever leave you. I need you in my life. Without you, I'm nothing. What would I do without you here? Life would not be the same, my dear. I feel like I would disappear. Sounds a lot, but I'm so sincere. Baby, you're my essence, you make me lose my mind. I can't live a day here without you by my side. I won't ever leave you, I need you in my life. Without you, I'm nothing. Baby, you're my essence, you make me lose my mind. I can't live a day here without you by my side. I won't ever leave you, I need you in my life. Without you, I'm nothing.
Alrighty then. I know. Gorillaz is a whole vibe, but I had 5 tracks on the list, and I'm beat. And my body is telling me to stop. Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. I thank you for joining me again. I see Dan being like, nah, gorillas. I also was like down for it, but my body is like, how about you sit down? How about you breathe for a second? My feet are bleeding again. I keep stepping in thorns, yo. The freaking thorns. I feel like most of those thorns got moved because they were in my feet first. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna catch my breath. I'm gonna be so rested. I'm gonna feel so good. I'm gonna be so content. These are you gonna cut off the gorillas. Look at me! Look at me! Look at me right now! It's freaking hot out here, yo. I can feel my body being like conservative of energy. Then you bass freak. How I feel about my baseline melty. I'm a bass freak and you tested me. Just before the baseline hit. I'm so sorry. Technically it was supposed to be turned off as I pressed the button, but I have a convoluted audio setup right now to make sure you friends can get low loss sound. Turn on the bass and my freak flag is on display. Bass, bass, okay. Put some of my things away. Almost. One more set of things need to be begotten. A glass in Seattle weather. I think I did bamboozle myself by sitting up in the sunlight. But let's hope it gets colder in the meanwhile. Name the gray one Eevee and the black one Pikachu. I think that's perfect. I'm guessing those are the kitties. I'm still in energy recovery mode, so my brain is not the first priority. Oh, please, sun. Ah, it's burning me. I need to go and sit in shade. You know, I'm sorry. I honestly, I'm sorry because I'm wasting all of our times. I'm sorry to myself as well for wasting my own time. But bro, I'll get cooked though. I'll straight up get cooked. You move there. Yeah, that's better. Whew. Peppy put new holes in my scarf. Joy vive. The pain in my heart. Even though I see it as blessings in disguises, because these scars will probably follow me longer than Pippi will be able to. Fuck, it sucks, dude. Oh man, it hurts me. And it's my fault, technically. I need to process information faster so that when she bites onto my scarf, I don't add any extra momentum to it. But she's not supposed to bite down. That's the lesson I wish she would learn. I guess she's just doggo, right? How much can I expect of doggo to know? Need to be realistic with my expectations, I guess. Let me open chat. I'm probably gonna miss a bunch of it. I am sorry, but I'll be here for the ones I can see. So much love in between you friends. At least, even brother Brandon is joining us. What a trip. Listening to pop. Some pop. I don't know what Zano Strack's genre was. I don't know if Zano is even here today, but we did dance to her music at least. She's at school, having her first day right now, and picture day. Nice. I feel the years upon me. Thinking back about school photo day, right? Mild PTSD flashback vibes, just like a little bit. Lurky Funk, blessed to you, Jovan, Dan, and Shell, and Loazana, and Joy Vive, and Shan, and even Hoopy. Duck Dad, of course. I love you, friends. Thank you for joining me, for spending this moment. I haven't even introduced today's stream topic, also suggested by Jovan. We have talked about this before, thinking about life and the self as a work of art, right? Where life can be seen as a canvas and you can be seen as the brush. And the way you choose to live your life, the places you choose to find yourself move, the people you spend time with, basically paints a picture, right? You make a work of art that if you could take a step back, you could see your entire life as a work of art. And I feel like that idea has consolidated with me. And then Jovan shared a perspective with me today about interpretation of art, right? Specifically, that yes, your life is a work of art, but the way people choose to interpret art is out of your control. In other words, you might live a beautiful life, right? Let's say, let's go the route of someone who, for instance, is homosexual. I don't know if that is a politically loaded word anymore either, right? Likes the same sex, right? And gets to fall in love with someone, gets to spend their life together, gets to adopt kids who wouldn't have had parents, right? And gets to live that life. In my mind, that is a work of art. But to someone who sees homosexuality as a sin or as something abominable, I can't even say the word, as something wrong, right? They cannot see the art in that life. And realizing that you have a certain amount of power over your interpretation of other people's interpretation, but you don't have power over theirs, right? And leaning into the work of art that is your life despite other people's interpretations. So, yeah, consciously evolving, taking that information into our beings, seeing from a new perspective. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Has anyone heard the Pentatonics a cappella? I have actually. Pentatonics is pretty badass. They have had some changes in cast, which I don't know how I feel about that. I guess there's a part of me that doesn't like change as well, right? The part of me that interprets that work of art doesn't want it to change. I'm learning lessons. I'm consciously evolving. Fine, fine. It's still good. They're an amazing band of artists. And y'all crazy people know you. Nancy, blessings to you too. They're so good. They really are. Got a lot of juice today. Me? I got a lot of juice. Some upbeat tunes are feeling nice this AM. I'm happy that you enjoyed them at least. That's what's most important. Y'all are the millennial kids, they say. Melts. No, bring it back. I'll drop the video in Discord and share your music, please. But cities breaking down camel's back. Tease how you're gonna cut off the gorillas. I'm sorry. I didn't know that track was gonna play. It was technically not on the list. That was like the autoplay. You know, it was like, oh, I see you finished listening to the music you had in a list. Would be a shame if there was no more music playing. So I'm gonna autoplay music, and then of course it plays an absolute slapper. And then when I already mentioned that I was only gonna dance to one more, so I was like, no. I had to like do a little bit of a head bob first because I was also vibing. I'm sorry. Please find it in your hearts to forgive me. To interpret, this is a work of art, right? That it wouldn't be as much work of arty if I didn't cut that gorilla song prematurely. Yeah. You know, that's some interpretation. In case you missed it, Joy named the gray one Eevee and the black-white one Pikachu. I believe both of those are Pokemons. And Fortunately, we don't have to catch our pets in magical balls, inexplicable, infinity space, magical balls, right? Like I would like that technology more than anything. I would rather have the Pokeballs than Pokemon. Is that sacrilegious to say? I stand by it. I want hammer space. I think that's the word they give it in the Marvel universe. Hammer space, in other words, is just a pocket dimension that you can open up and put infinity things in. I want hammer space, please. I'm happy for your little kitty names though as well, Doc Dad. Thank you for sharing that with us. I don't recall dancing a whole lot throughout my life, but I catch myself dancing now all the time, and I think about a day when we can all boogie woogie alongside one another. I look forward to that too. For some reason, that boogie woogie took me somewhere. I can't know where. I think it might be Donna's Crazy House of Fun or something like that. It's boogie woogie, boogie woogie. What is that? What is that information in my brain universe, please? I remember it was some work of art, right? I can't remember how I entered for the time to turn the charm and go meet Duckling's teacher. Duckling's teacher. One teacher? Is there a complaint being lodged? I hope it goes well with the bear. Fortunately, you got maximum charisma. Rolling 20s. Charisma for you too, bro. Kristen is here. Hi, lovely. Struggling to fix my internets, but wanted to say I missed you. I'm so happy to be back here with you all. It's nice having you here too, Kristen. Sending you calm and blessings of your internet. This ear is closed right now, so it feels like I have a plug in my ear, right? It's not going away. Feels like that's the equivalent of your internet not working properly, right? Like you know there's sound coming in, but there's something missing. Little bit of something missing. Let me close this quickly, actually. I saw you made it to yoga today, dear. Bless. It was a blessing. I'd be so sick if we had a little melty music get together. It'd be so sick. Jovan, I'll shake anyone with low end who wanted to be shooketh. Yeah, Dad. One day, dude. One day we're going to dance together. I'll build the stage. I'll make it as psychedelic as possible. Right? I want the stage to be so. My ears are constantly clogged with allergies. I'm happy that I'm not the only one. Maybe I'm vicariously or physically living into your fractal as well right now, Joy Vive. I want my music festival stages to be so impressive that you could technically just sit down and watch like a movie and it'll be maximum entertainment, right? Like that would be the ideal. So let's do with that. If not, why not, right? I kind of made yoga, not completely. You were there in spirit, saw your name, could send you blessings. Why wouldn't you just have dancing scarves that you don't care if she shreds? Because I care about all my scarves, Joy Vive. This one in particular, I really care about this one, right? In part because you gave it to me. That's definitely a part of the reason. But also because it makes such beautiful flowers, right? And technically that hole will never be seen in my flowers or by you friends. But now I know about it, right? I know exactly where it is, in fact. There it is. You see that little hole? Right? It breaks my heart. And even if it's like a tattered, even if it's my worst scarf is the first one I got. That one I think is literally in pieces, right? Like it actually, it's in, okay, I mean, it's holding on by a few threads to be in one piece. And I would still feel bad if that one got more holes in it as well. It's a level of sentimental value, I guess. Bro, this ear. Stop. Stop. Oh, please. Oh, please, mercy. Joy Vive, I'm carrying some of your struggles as well, it seems. Sorry, we're trying to sucky. The heat bubble has officially popped. It's going to be so mild and nice. Bless. I'm way over the heat myself. Yeah. The heat is switching on this side. I'm sleeping with a fan on. Again. Surprise, surprise. It be that way sometimes. Especially during the summer. We need to have silent disco on Zoom. like earphones in. Surely there is some way for us to get the same sound to every single one of us. Oh, we'll have to go into some research. My sister's workplace did this thing during COVID where they'd have a Zoom dance party on Fridays. We should do it on Discord sometimes. That does sound nice. How would we do that, right? Like I'm thinking, I think Discord might be easier because then we can kind of like open a channel and play music through that, and then all of us can tune into that channel at the same time. That sounds fun, actually. Bro, my back itchy. Jinx, Jovan, you owe me a Coke. Bless. Planning a Zoom dance party. I'd be down. I would dust off my APC 40 if people are interested. Hey Google, what is an APC 40? Oh, that's a Parrot DJ. It's Dex. I already know what that is actually. I just had to thinking about it. And then I was like, wait a second, I know what that is. I might have even used one. It's like I think that's a deck, right? I'm guessing a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that's a deck. As in you have these interfaces that play music and then you can transition from one track to another through faders and stuff like that. Did I miss my Shan greeting? Maybe you can still get one. Holy hell, Dan. Would you be DJ Dad Man? That actually sounds pretty sick of a name. I'm still down for Meltoberfest. Y'all might revisit the idea in the Discord, please. Meld by Pokebag. Do you mean like Hermione's handbag? I feel like Hermione was a character in Harry Potter. I can't remember her having one of those, but I'm guessing. I do believe in like the Marvel universe. They call it Hammer Space. The new Spider-Man movie had a scene where the bad guy could just keep pulling weapons essentially out his ass. Right. Anyway, he had Hammer Space, and I really want Hammer Space. Oh goodness, how nice would it be to just have something you can carry with you that is attached to the other side of infinity? You can just put more things in there, right? Like the Harry Potter universe has the room of requirement, which is technically that as well by extension, right? Only now your infinity transforms and gives you exactly what it is you want. That might be even cooler now that I think about it. I'm still feeling so sleepy. I'm going into lurk and possibly snooze mode. We love you, Nancy. Snoozing or not, sending you blessings. My mind is struggling. It's okay. Pokeballs are just multiverse theory. It's the fourth dimension right in front of us. Some vibes, dude. I want one. So I want one. Maybe we'll make one. Then if you do this, I'm gonna make you play a couple of tracks. If not, why not? I don't want a Pokeball nearly as much as I want a Dragon Ball. A Dragon Ball by itself doesn't do much. You need all of them, right, Joshmo? Hey Google, can you do something with a single Dragon Ball? I don't understand. I don't blame you on this one, Google. I wouldn't understand myself either. Not to overuse the Dragon Balls. This is elaborated upon the Shadow Dragon Saga, supposed to be used once every 100 years. I think you need all of them. You can't just have one. However, having one, just for the sake of putting it in your room or whatever, that does sound like a vibe though. Somebody walks into your room and instantly registers, you have a fucking Dragon Ball? Yeah. Yes, I do. In fact, have a Dragon Ball. And then King of the Saiyans lands on Earth and starts massacring people for your Dragon Ball. Of course, my mind has to go to the extreme. My ears are constantly clogged with allergies. Bless you, Joy Vive. I'm super down, Jovan. DM me on Discord. I'm Poopsie808. There we go. For sure, Rabbit. Send me your beats and I'll play them. Joy Vive, if you ever try rubbing eucalyptus oil on your jawline and hairline. I haven't tried doing that. Do I have eucalyptus oil? No, I have tea tree oil. How can I forget your username? Poopsie the Moopsie. I'll DM you later, bless. Maybe that should be my alias, Jovan. DJ Dan Man. I mean, hey Google. Is there a DJ? Hey Google. Is there a DJ Dan Man? Hey Google. Hey Google. Is there a DJ Dan Man? There is DJ Dan the Man. And there is apparently a DJ Dan Man, which is on SoundCloud, it seems. There's DJ Dan, there's DJ Dan. Dan the Man at the Woods, Johannesburg, Nochels. Okay, how about that? DJ Dan the Man. I feel DJ Dan Man could be a new one. I thought I recognized that DJ for a second even. There is Eucalyptus in your Raven Fresh roller. I'll try it, actually. I will try it. Like it just feels like there is like a plate of water at the side of my head like this, making it a little bit wonky, making myself sound weird. And especially if I hit certain tones, it like oscillates or reverberates in this spot, creating like a louder sound than what my actual voice sounds like. Shell saying today is the first day I have to go physically into the office since 2020. Hot damn. The office is 5 minutes away. My body is saying no. I mean, at least, right? Silver lining wise, it's only 5 minutes away. If it was further than that, it would have been an added nightmare. I'm gonna see if I can help Eva. She seems to be chewing on her hand. Yeah. You step in something, sweet dogger? You step in something? Can I help? Let me see. I know you don't like it. I know, I know. There you go. Just making sure. Oh, sweetie. Like basically her spot. She's still chewing on her foot, but at least I know there's no actual thorn sticking out of it. Let's have some small group silent disco funky ass dance party practices. I mean, I do believe there is a vector for my future where I try to teach people how to dance, right? Not for the sake of this is how you dance, but for the sake of exercise, right? That you can put music on and that move your body and then use that as your exercise medium instead of feeling forced to go run outside or go to a gym, or maybe you don't like yoga, put yourself on a mat, you can just dance, right? Figuring out ways to make exercise a little bit more fun. So I feel silent groups, no, small groups, silent disco, funky ass dance party practices could be a whole vibe. Thank you, Louisiana. Big Phone also has a big asshole. It can shove it into. Big Phone wants people to quit voluntarily, Sam. What? Big Phone? Like Big Pharma kind of vibe? Wants people to quit voluntarily, wants you to quit voluntarily from the business, is what I'm thinking right now. Otherwise, they'll have to pay you some sort of severance package. Yeah, that sounds about right. The long form is Ableton Performance Controller 40. Oh, it's not a deck, it's a launch pad, but I use it to DJ Melty. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, actually. Now I don't have to embarrass myself. I do want to get myself, you know, mixing decks as well. I would like to DJ to some capacity. I just don't really think that's going to be my main thing. Will probably be another expression of art, but I don't know. Maybe once I make my own music or something, in a decade or so, or whatever. Sorry, Meld. I meant Pokeball. Hermione had an enchanted handbag that was basically a TARDIS inside. I'm guessing TARDIS is liminal space. The word that's coming to my mind is Come on. You know this word. Big bug flying around me. It's called bro, gone. I can see the shape in my head. It's a fourth dimensional shape that is a cube inside a cube called come out. Come on brain. Give me the word. So it's called a tesseract. There we go. Thank you, brain. That's so nice of you to remember. Tesseracts. Also gives me the same vibe, right? Where you open a box and the box inside the box is larger than the box outside the box. How does that make sense? It doesn't need to. Not for our three-dimensional understanding of the realm of existence, but multidimensionality, right? In other words, in the same way that 3 dimensions can encapsulate 2 dimensions, 4 dimensions can encapsulate 3 dimensions, i.e., you could fit infinity inside a 3-dimensional space of a 4-dimensional vector, right? Can we do that realistically? Probably no, unless we figure out how to do wormholes. But I feel like we're still far away from that, and we're also scared of collapsing our Earth into nothingness. That would probably be the limiting factor. Like I'm thinking about the fact that we were detonating nuclear bombs, not knowing necessarily if it's going to ignite our atmosphere and burn everything to a crisp, and we still did it, right? We're probably going to do the same thing with wormholes eventually. Hopefully we do that kind of experiments in space. Oh goodness. Hopefully we don't, actually. Now that I think about it, I just remembered the plot of Doom. I'm literally talking about the plot of Doom right now. That's what they did. Technically, they opened the wormhole to harvest energy from the other side, but still, I don't want to be Doom guy. I mean, it sounds cool to be Doom guy, but I don't think any of us actually want to be Doom guy, realistically. Not really a vibe. Yeah, I forgot. You're correct, sir. I need all the Dragon Balls. Damn, you've converted me to Team Pokeball. I mean, and why not have all the Dragon Balls? I think with all the Dragon Balls, you can make a wish, right? Hey Google, what can you do if you have all of the Dragon Balls? I don't understand. Please stop lying. Oh, yeah, all 7 Dragon Balls. You can summon the dragon. Is restricted to only granting 1 wish at a time. He cannot repeat any wish made before. I feel like that's a cool rule. No wish can be made twice. That is interesting. What would I wish for if I had 1 wish and it will never be able to be made again? You see, I'm thinking about the Hogwarts Legacy game as well. There's like a teaching moment in that where they talk about even if you can defeat darkness, that doesn't necessarily mean you should, right? Because there is no light without darkness. So abolishing hatred or abolishing suffering would probably not be a wise wish to make. What wish would I make? Taking into consideration that other people might have made this wish before me as well, right? My mind goes to the extreme again. I would wish for the ability to be able to manipulate matter down to these subatomic particles. But I feel like that's a little bit intellectual, right? Because I'm gonna, technically, if I have that ability, I can manipulate my own brain so I can actually compute at that level, but that's the closest thing I can get to wishing for something that could allow me to grant more wishes, right? I want to become a dragon. Is that a wish you can ask for? That would be pretty sick as well. But I would rather than in that capacity, if we can, ask for anything like Dragon Balls, I would rather wish for the genie, right? I want William Robin as a genie, please. That's what I really want. That's 2 wishes and I get to set him free. That sounds like a vibe. And Pokeball, love is true. Anyway, have the same thing. I have questions about that thing, Lois. Can you fit a person in one of them things if it came to it? Can you smuggle a muggle with it? Those are the real questions that we need to be asking Sam. What would you do with a Pokeball melt? Would you put Pippi in it when she's being bad? Pippi is rarely bad, actually, right? Like, I mean, she barks sometimes, and that's uncomfortable. But I don't really think that warrants putting her in a ball, right? I don't really punish Pippi. I feel like that's why she gets away with anything, right? Like even if she rips my scarf, it's not like I'm gonna beat her because she doesn't understand, right? She doesn't understand what she did wrong. She was being doggo, bit onto something, and then it got ripped. She's like, well, that's pretty normal, you know. I'm dog. I don't really care. So no, I don't think I'd use it for that. I would use it just for being able to encapsulate something into a space that I can carry in my hand. Because you can keep fucking dragons, right? Actual dragons in Pokeballs. So multiple metric ton entities that you can carry in your pocket. That seems like the vibe to me. You can technically encapsulate like an RV or like a massive luxury trailer inside a Pokeball. And then you just carry that in your bag. And if you need a place to sleep, you press a button and then there it is. Maybe even a whole little apartment, mini house or something. It will be like more practicality. Having hammer space means that I can take literally anything that I could ever want for with me everywhere. That's where the desire comes from. Is power again. Mm, Eucalyptus, Melty. Oh yeah, I forgot. You are correct, sir. I'd need all the Pokeballs. Love again. Yo, I have eucalyptus oil. I think you gotta check my oil bottles. Love you. Thank you for considering as well, Joy Vive. Warm compress below your ears along the jawline can loosen the tension and get stuff draining. Steam works good too. Thank you for the recommendations, Joshma. I think we might have to do that. Oof, bus was supposed to leave at 10:30 and the bumped it to 10:50, but it's still not even here yet. You are using the bus today, right? I am sorry. Like, I feel like it's one thing to use the bus if it's on time, but it's a whole different thing if it's not. The TARDIS is from Doctor Who, of course. I watched a bit of Doctor Who, but I haven't in a while. Boil a pot of water and throw a towel over your head and lean over the steam and just breathe normally for about 10 to 15 seconds at a time. Bend over, breathe, stand up straight, head back. I'm guessing that's the technique. Stretch while looking at the ceiling and blow your nose. Repeat for like 5 times every couple of hours to keep yourself clear. Thank you, Brother Bear, for those recommendations. It's like a blue phone booth. Oh, of course. I know that one. And it's huge inside. Oh, Tesseract was also in the book whose name I can't remember by Madeline Eningo. Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept, right? We can visualize the Tesseract technically, right? Hey, Google, can you show me what a tesseract looks like? There we go. Right, these are pretty basic tesseracts, but they communicate the idea. Yeah, it's pretty brain melty. And yet, that thing makes perfect mathematical sense, right? Like, we're not breaking any rules, technically, in doing stuff like this. We might be breaking 3-dimensional rules, but we're not actually breaking any rules. Tesseracts be cool, yo. That's the energy conversion box I put my energy into when I meditate as well. Wrinkle in time, that's what it's called. Random sinus advice. Thank you, Brother Bear. All of the love to you too, Lolo. Thank you for your presence as well in this space right now. Ground Sparkle. I don't think I've seen your name before. Blessings to you. Thank you for joining us too. It's nice having you here. Muggle smuggler sounds like a bad idea. Sounds like a bad word. Yeah, Muggle smuggler would probably, get you an Azkaban or something. Thinking about that Hogwarts game again, right? Like, there's a scene where one of the bad guys gets Azkaban, and I'm like, is that an option? Like, it's like at the end of the game, you put someone in Azkaban. Meanwhile, during the whole game, I'm just murdering people, like absolute menace to society, killing hundreds. Pippi is having the time of her life, and we have a kitty joining us too. Hello, meow meow. Hello, meow meow meow. There's Shelby, unstolen by Christian after all. Yeah, yeah. Don't smuggle people, right? I feel like that's the real takeaway. I'm the artist formerly known as Ground Equal. Blessings to you, friend. It's been forever since seeing your name. It's nice seeing you now. Blessings. It's so cool seeing you again. How have you been? Today's stream topic, weirdly enough, is about art, specifically seeing life as art. And then in the context of interpretation, because you might be an artist, right? And you might make things that your soul resonates with, find beautiful. But someone else might not see your work of art for the beauty that it is. And that's not your fault, right? How other people choose to interpret what you have made of yourself, of your life, of your career is inconsequential. Doesn't matter. What matters is what it means to you. And I thank you, Brother Bear, or beloved sister. I don't know your gender. I appreciate you joining us. We have Isaac joining us too. Sending you blessings too, Brother Bear. So nice having you. Was the mouth harp in the rune box? The mouth harp fell into liminal space or something. You know good, Muggle Smuggler. Muggle Smuggler, that does kind of sound like an insult, right? Public transit in the stages is garbage. Yeah, Melt. I just gotta get home to feed the kitties. It's 3 hours from when we leave. Bless. Pinch the bridge of your nose to release pressure of the universe from your sinuses. Pinch the bridge of your nose. I think this is the bridge of my nose, right? The fact that my skull extends into a little corner here, and then I have like some. Please, no, stop. I'm like seeing my own internal organs as I do that. I'm like, ah, yes. My eyeballs seated in the sockets of my skull. Ah, yes. My small little ceramic toothstones that grow like little trees out of my jaws. Ah, nice. No, stop. Stop doing that, please. It's a work of art. There we go. I'm interpreting it as a work of art. It's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not going to look at the horrific, right? I'm seeing myself without skin in my own mind's eye right now, and it's beautiful. And it's so beautiful. Okay. Oh no 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 no. I feel like it's intentionally misleading to not mention the state you're in, Dan. I think we know though, right? Him being in the NYC. I gotta do that later for sure. I'm still recovering from my congestion. Thank you. Bless. Yo, I'm happy that you're absorbing the lessons as well. Public transit's pretty bad, but it was a dream in New York City compared to the Bay, Dad. Oh yeah. Ground Sparkle. Just realized I got your name wrong the first time. My sincere apologies. Thank you, Shan, for making sure you send all of the blessings. Look at you, cuties. No, you. Brother Isaac, it's nice having you, bro. I just bang on my forehead with my palm until the sinuses loosen up and drain out my face. Suddenly, I tuned back into the primordial goo. I made paper airplanes. Does that count as art? Of course it does, Ground Sparkle. Do you find a sense of satisfaction in this thing that you've created that can now defy, not technically defy, accentuate the laws of physics? Yeah, work of art. Claim it as such. Howdy, love you, dear friend. It's nice having all of you here. Hello, Bar Joy. NYC looks good next to most of the country, and it's terrible. Goodness. Oh, stop it. More like Isaac the friend, Isaac the blessed one, Isaac the wise one, Wiseak, as we like to call him. It's been a pleasure to see the Wiseak. Bless. I bet you're an awesome DM, Wiseak, with your quick wit. Yeah, more flattery. Man, your bus stop had cell phone chargers. I couldn't believe it, Dan. I hope they're wireless. Apparently, they can steal your data if you plug your cable in directly. I learned this recently. I was like, huh, how about that? Fried like job tired or like fried like high. I wonder as well. Known context of Hermione's bag, the cloak of invisibility, essence of Dittany for healing. Yeah, I slurped like a lot of essence of Dittany. So much essence of Dittany passed through these veins. Perkins magical tent, which was also bigger on the inside from the outside. I know, right? Like it makes me happy when I see stuff like that. I want to implement that stuff into like my content one day as well. Oh, you're too kind. I do feel very much at home in that position. We love you, Brother Bear. I'm happy that you're interpreting your work of art as this world as well, man. I'm in Atlantic City, so Joy is trying to get back to New York City. So I'm not. So it's not the best. There we go. Trying to always pretend I'm one step ahead. Atlantic City, nice man. You get up some shit out there in the long weekend. Then I think he did visit his beloved mom. I think a change of clothes for all three of them. Phineas Nigellus, Black's portrait, some polyjuice potion, and the sword of Gryffindor, of course, just to like add a little bit more of a sprinkle onto that whole experience. Melty, pinch the bridge, grab your eyes near the tear duct and squeeze them together. Grab my eyes? Hell nah, I'm not doing that. I'll push between these pots, but I'm just imagining I'm putting my freaking fingers into those gaps in the sides of my eyes and then pushing them together. That's what my mind is going to, and it's like, oh hell nah, hell nah, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Squeeze them together, just inside the eye socket, but over the eye, so you don't scratch the peepers. So like this. Did that just work? The fuck? Let's do it again. It's so odd to be pushing my eyes around like that. My brain is in a space of apprehension. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? My sinuses feel more open. I guess it works. Thank you. Thank you, brother Joe Schmo. Nah, Sam, is that Andy Gaming Susan? Blessings to you too, dear friend. It's nice seeing you. I was in the Ocean City with my mom, so nothing crazy. I've never been to Atlantic City. Didn't Trump try to buy it and open a bunch of casinos that went bust? Good. Weirdly enough, I've been weirdly apprehensive to casinos as of late, right? Like a part of me feels like very strong about my hatred for them or something. That's the medical advice I have for now. Thank you. You can get a USB condom adapter, which just lets power through and doesn't have the data pins. The more you know. How about that? Thank you, Grand Sparkle. Ashley, joining us too. So many new friends, names I haven't seen before, blessing us with their presence. Hey, Ashley, thank you for finding yourself here as well. Today, we're talking about life as a work of art, specifically seeing your life as a work of art despite other people's interpretation thereof, right? Because no matter what piece of art has ever been made, there are going to be people that think of it as beautiful, and there are going to be people that think of it as nothing, right? And depending on what you believe about your life, is what you believe about your life, right? Despite other people's interpretation thereof. So I appreciate you, friend, for becoming a part of this work of art, right? Sure, it's mild hubris, but I do consider these streams works of art, right? Because it is a creative process. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know I'm opening a canvas, a new blank, and then we get to show up in this space together. And every single thing you friends choose to say and how that influences me ends up becoming this stream. So thank you for joining us too. I was fried like hi. I just generally I think I just generally approaching burnout. Yeah. that does seem to be the current flavor of humanity right now. Burnout. Come to Earth in 2023 to experience the new burnout, to experience the new informational overload and eventual burnout. The way I think of it as of late, Isaac, is that we are practically conditioning our conscious minds to be overloaded with information and to be okay with that, right? Because the overload of information isn't going to stop. Mm-mm. No, no, sir. It's probably only going to intensify and accelerate. So if it's not going to stop, then we might as well get better, consciously evolve, if you will, into becoming more adaptable to this influx of extra information, right? And it can burn you out, and there's no shame in taking a break and kind of like being with yourself, but realizing that it's us becoming stronger, right? Not like we're losing anything, because that's the way that I feel about the word burnout. I feel like it's like some sort of loss, like an admittance of loss or admittance of suffering. And me being the way I am, I fight. I fight against that part of me that wants to burn out, and I instead burn more. It's like, no, fam, no burning out for you. Gezondheid, Ground Sparkle. Did Ground Sparkle just sneeze? Are you close enough to Ground Sparkle to hear her sneezing? Bless to you. Bless you, Ashley. Thank you, friends. I don't know. Do you know one another? Is that why you're both here right now together? I'm trying to connect fractals. Ashley, how do you find us? Did you find us directly on YouTube, or were you here from the Arpan days? Either way, you are appreciated and welcomed into this space. Diphony is specifically used to break down the will. So Paimon can occupy a body. Paimon is the baddie in Hereditary. How about that, Shell? So every single time you heal in the Harry Potter universe, you're giving pieces of your soul to Satan or something, or to the demon. Is that my dad? Is it on Wednesday? Yeah, I think that is my dad. As soon as he's back early. Nice. Tear ducts are against the nose, not on the side of the eyeballs. I mean, it feels better. It does feel better. I've been feeling the Casino version too, but I'm paid to be in the muck of it. It's true. I could be a little. I guess I'm gonna go and have to look for a key. I'm getting tooted at. Right? Oh, you have a world, a life? Nah, fam. Your purpose is to open gate for me. I will tutor my tutor to make sure that you know. Yeah, there ain't no keys here, bro. You're the one who took them last time. So, I don't know what they want from me, but there ain't no keys. There ain't no keys here, yo. Ja, papriki. What's next, Sony? Jelle je tam. They saw me. I'm Mariah. Mariah is joining us too. Blessings to you. Hey, jullie niet eens little nie? My dad literally has the key in his hand. Okay. But I'm the cause a bit. I've kind of painted myself into a bit of a DM mess, but exciting mess. Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons is fun for me too, but the amount of time commitment usually makes it a hard sell, unfortunately. There it goes. Good thing I got asked first, just so I can know that I'm incapable of helping. the fun. Oh yay! New friends. Y'all know how to fix your sinuses. You'll need to the casino version again, right? I feel like if anything, Jovan, the fact that you get to make the casino experience more beautiful for people is the thing that gives me hope, right? It's like that's what I'm seeing. You get to be the one redeemable part of it. The random thing from yesterday asked colleagues who boasted about reading instead of phone before bed. Oh, well, what's on your nightstand? He hesitates and giggle. Nazi billionaires. Oh, you play on your cell phone before going to sleep? I read. I'm so fancy. Oh, what are you reading? Nazi billionaires. Stimulating. Fascinating. That is kind of hilarious, Shell. Thinking about Hereditary makes my heat heart beat fast, I'm guessing. I watched a 3.5 hour YouTube video breaking down the entire movie. I do not expose myself to that kind of information. I just don't. I'm like, aha, a movie about demons possessing people. How about no? I will not. I will not watch that. Thank you. I'm okay. It's scary. I believe it is. That's why I'm not gonna watch it. Oh, you scared? No. No, I just have respect for my own mental health, right? Because I'm creative, imaginarily, right? And I've been seeing the dead since I was very young. I started seeing the dead when I was 7, properly when I was 7, right? Where literally, as soon as I closed my eyes, I would see skulls, dead beings, right? And they would like clamor over each other, trying to get closer to me as well. And it was horrifying. And I would try and seek solace. Hey, Buta! I was trying to seek solace, with my family, but they tolerated me at first, and then they started just being like, bruh, you need to sleep in your own bed, or leave us alone. So I got used to it, right? So adding to that fractal, right? It's not a good it's not a good idea for me, at least. I thought that video was 4.4 hours, and I watched it to burn out to make me think of PlayStation 2. Mm, yeah, good old PlayStation 2 vibes. When I think about PlayStation 2, I think about that loading screen where if it actually loads into your game, you know you can play the game. Otherwise, it'll be just stuck in a boot loop at the start of it. It was long and totally worth it. You friends are crazy. Every single second of that analysis was brilliant, Joy. His others are astounding too. Flo Joe, I'll take that. Hey, again, Mariah. I hope you all have been well. Just giving a wave and going about my way. Cheers, mates. We love you. Mariah, you're probably not here anymore, but sending you blessings. Tear ducts are little holes, often overlooked by those countless holes, but they are there. Yeah, technically, I think the human being has 8 holes, and those little things, those little tear ducts, is a part of the holes you have. Right? They like literally channel into like your mucous membrane and stuff. My eyes would dry up and fall out without my tear ducts. It's true. Melty, it's okay to be gatekeeper, brother. It's an important task if you have keys. I mean, true, but they left me without keys the weekend that my friends came over, right? So I'm like, a part of me is feeling into both the irony and the saltiness of them tooting at me, telling me to open the gate for them when they couldn't even respect me enough to leave me a key when they knew I had friends coming over, right? And they have the keys. And then I'm still being, yeah, do it. And I'm like, okay, all right, I see how it is. It's me just being a little bit of a, and I'm aware of it. I'm there for it. I know. It's part of the art. Okay, I'm arting right now. I'm in character. I'm playing a role. Okay. No. Don't forget your eye holes. 4 eye holes. 4 eye holes. Technically, yeah. technically you do have four eye holes. You have the actual eye sockets, which are holes, and then you have the inside of your eyes, which also have void. They're filled with fluids, but still technically whole. Like, would have to live outside the gate in the car. I just kind of like wanted them to climb over the gate the way that we had to. That's kind of like what I was hoping for, is them having to park outside, having to climb over it. Do not forget your eye holes. Eye holes are the windows to the soul that they are. Live outside the gate. Your friends. If you imagine the sinus tubes running around your face and through your cheeks, like the little rabbit warrens, then it's like squeezing those little fluffy white tails out. I see dead people. I've seen dead people for a long time, Jaiviv. And I recently learned that apparently was supposed to happen for the role I'm playing right now. Right? That if I didn't get to see dead people, I wouldn't get to see you friends right now. I wouldn't be able to appreciate the living the way that I do right now. So like as soon as I had that download, I was like, oh, it makes sense. It makes sense that I've been traumatized since I was a little kid, being literally, emotionally, and spiritually put through the gauntlet, through the trials of death, through the spirit guides, so that I can find myself on this side. And then realizing that I'm in my 20s, which means I'm still going to have to experience decades more of trial by fire, essentially, before I can even remotely consider myself the teacher I'm supposed to be. Being a shaman, right? What does that mean? I'm still to learn, I guess, actively. What is fractal? Fractal, in my mind, is when one thing leads to another, and that thing leads to another, and that thing leads to another. In other words, I like to talk about human beings as fractals. I like to talk about behavior as fractal. I like to talk about interpretation as fractal as well. So, for those three examples, a person in my mind is fractal because they got to grow up in a very different experience than I did. They had different parents, which contributes to their fractal, different upbringing, different food that they ate, different school that they went to, different kids that they were in class with, different teachers influencing them, right? So all of these differences are like small little branches fractaling into the main unit that is you standing as a self, right? Then, with interpretation, again, because of all of these perspectives, leads into you interpreting information one way or another because of your whole fractal of interpretation. And then, what was the last one? Maybe conversation. I could add it as well, right? The things you choose to say. For instance, if you talk to someone, if you talk to me, right, about complex math, I'm going to look at you dumbfounded, right? Like, the fuck you saying to me right now? Because I'm not a math genius, and I don't have to be. But realizing that's not my fractal and being able to communicate that to you, we can find some clarity, right? We can find the fractal that we do share. For instance, maybe both of us like some sort of TV show, and then we can use that as a kicking off point because we share those branches, those fractal branches, so that we can have some sort of synchronized moment. Thank you for asking, dear friend. It's been a word that I use almost excessively in the stream, and I am sorry for that, but it's one of the most beautiful single sound words that can explain a lot of the complexity of the way we interpret this world, for me at least. If you imagine the sun, I think I've read it one. Melty, you've got to talk to Jane, man, my spiritual guide. She communes with the dead. She always says, I have my foot in both worlds. Yeah, dude, I have unironically died. Right? Like, seriously. I drowned as a child. I was on machines, and the doctors told my parents that even if I make it, I'm probably going to be a vegetable. Maybe I still am. Maybe I'm laying in that hospital bed right now, hallucinating this whole experience. Probably not. Probably not. Also starts gaslighting myself. So yeah, right. I feel the version of me that I was supposed to be died, right? Thinking about it from a perspective of what the world wanted of me. And having had that version die, I get to be the version of myself. Uh, Thank you, though, Brother Bear, for suggesting. Sage smoke works on sinuses too, but it can have the opposite effect for some people. True. Sage works for me, but makes my sister congested, so it's a kind of trial and error method. Agreed. Love you, Mariah. Thank you for blessing our friend as well. I think I'm emailing in sick today, more for mental health reasons than physical. I need to do non work stuff. Take your day, Nancy, and don't feel bad about it. Live into your work of art. I'm happy that you can at least take a day for yourself. Is Jane a real person or an imaginary friend, Dan? I'm not trying to be an asshole. Just when you talk about her, it makes me unsure. Jane is his spiritual guide, is the way that I understand it. So I think she's a real person. That's the shit, man. You take that time, do things. Yeah. No, she's a real person. She's a tiny 70-year-old lady. Bless. We chat twice a week, Joy. Yeah, I overlooked at my paycheck yesterday, and I've got a sick time occurred. Nice. So you can actually use some of that. Sinus rabbits like Alice in Warrenland. Noun, fractal. Plural, noun, fractals. Curve or geometric figure, each part of which has the same statistical characteristic as the whole. Yeah, that's the technical definition of a fractal. And technically, you can still attach that, right? Because same statistical character. In other words, according to statistics, both of us have a dad and a mom, right? Right. But despite those statistics, how our dad is, if they're present in our lives or not, how our mom is, if they're present in our lives or not, that is different, right? So the statistic of whether or not we have a parent is there, but the way they show up in our lives is fractal in nature as well, right? Human relations, essentially. Feeling pretty strong that Melt is cultivating skills that Jane has made her life's work of. I'm trying to, Brother Dan, right? Maybe that's where a part of my jealousy comes from as well, right? It's like I would like to be on that level where I can consider myself someone who would be willing to charge for my services, right? But I'm still fighting the imposter monster that is actively pulling some of the strings, right? It's pulling less of the strings. I keep melting the strings it manages to pull, but I'm trying to get better. Like a kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope is more of the flowers I make. Hey, Pep, sending you love. Thank you for sending our little ones blessings as well. So, like, I do kind of attach the kaleidoscopic, vibes as well, right? Like, I make these flowers out of my clothes. So the clothing I wear each day ends up becoming a flower. And technically, these are kaleidoscopic in nature. Right? And I feel like I'm trying to find this scarf. When was the last time I used this scarf and a flower? Was it this one? Yeah. You see, those blues and whites ends up becoming that in my flowers. So I do value the kaleidoscopic energy, but I feel like the fractal energy isn't necessarily the same as kaleidoscopic energy, because fractal in my mind is you can go deeper, right, into a fractal and then find information there. And then if you go deeper into that information, you'll find information there. And if you go deeper into that information, you'll find information there. In other words, if we go back to the parents analogy, because all of us have parents, technically, right? Like for instance, oh, you have a dad. Yeah, I have a dad. Oh, okay. Tell me about your dad. Tells me a story about your dad. Tell me about the relationship you have with your dad. Tells me about the relationship you have with your dad. How has that affected your life? Tells me about how it has affected your life. Tell me about how it's affected the people in your life when it affects your life in this way. Right? So, sure, we're just talking about something as simple as the fact that you have a dad. But then as soon as we start that experience, it keeps branching out more and more and more and more and adds more and more complexity to you as a person. And even though we try to simplify, we cut a lot of that fractal information out so we can have some clarity of a moment right here. It doesn't mean that information is gone, right? It still contributes to this moment. We just might not be aware of it. And that's a part of what I believe conscious evolution is supposed to be. That's what we come into the space for, is to become aware of our own fractals, to become aware of the way things influence, things influence, things influence. And then taking almost like a step back to be able to see the fullness of it, and then to take a step in from that perspective and trying to get ourselves back to this stable moment. That's why I try. You'll friends notice if we get a little bit too far off topic, I'll try to bring it back to a centering point so that we can fractal out from that point again, right? So we don't get too far astray from this conscious evolution we're trying to, participate within. A fractal is a microscopic reflection of the whole. I like that one too, actually. Ashley, imagine like a tree branch that starts big at the base and then splits into smaller branches and into smaller twigs. That's my favorite fractal personally, right? If I think about fractal, I also go for the tree analogy first. The sun is just about setting. It seems there's something wrong with the gate right now. Look at that sun. Really just edging over the mountain there in the back right now. But look at that tree fractaling outwards, right? Because technically, a lot of us, when we look at a person, that's what we see, all right? We see their wrinkles, we see the little face blemishes, we see them standing as an individual person, right? But what we don't see is all of the stuff underneath, right? Their whole past, the person that they have basically established themselves to be. And what we also cannot see is their dreams, their hopes, the energy that they participate within, the things that they're going to be doing in their future, right? And I've noticed in my personal fractal that if I see people as fractal natured, it allows me to value and appreciate them a little bit more than just seeing them as bags of flesh, essentially. It's honestly very bizarre talking to her. She will be on FaceTime with me and tell me about people I've never heard of in my room watching over me. Yeah, that can be helpful. It depends on where you find yourself in your own spiritual journey. That's not cool, Dan. Why would you tell that to someone? It's very upsetting. I like how me and Joy Vive has different ways of reacting to information, right? Fractaled. I think I reacted the way I was supposed to. But I feel your reaction as well, Joy Vive. I'm also not really a fan of communicating that information. It might be true, but it's rarely helpful, unfortunately. Little looks like big, looks like infinity, looks like your interpretation. Exactly. Hey, Melty and all, Peppermint Mononoke. It's been so long. It's so cool seeing friends that we haven't seen in a while. Mariah is still here. Sending you friends blessings. It's nice having you today. Apparently, my great uncle Harry, a man I never knew existed until Jane told me that he's in my room like 3 to 4 times a week trying to provide guidance and comfort. Has he been providing guidance and comfort? Have you felt guided and comforted? If yes, then maybe it's a good thing, right? Who am I to say? Maybe you have been guided and comforted. I think this is a little bit wider. I look feral right now. Do I look feral to you? How much animal am I? 50-50? Yeah, probably 50-50. I was like, who is Harry? Do people live on forever because of those they have interacted with during their lives? I believe you live on forever because there's nothing outside of this moment. Ground Sparkle, right? Realizing that this moment is eternal, right? You might be experiencing things in this moment. Things within this moment might be changing, but the actual moment doesn't. In other words, if you have sufficiently advanced technology, and the way that I consider it just reality, right, as a computer in and of itself, right, it computes by solving problems. In other words, if you jump off of a building, it computes your bone strength. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And it saves that information, right, by injuring you, for example. In other words, everything you do is consequential, which means you live on forever within this moment, right? That's my personal perspective, at least. I was like, who is Harry? The first time she mentioned him. And Jane was like, I don't know, ask your parents. Sure enough, I talked to my mom and she was like, Harry was my uncle on my dad's side. That is pretty wild. There's more details that just name that P. Much confirmed for me that it's all very real, but it's hard to type it out. I could share more on Discord sometime if you want to join. Perspective. Nope. I mean, she's already watching the Hereditary movie, right? She doesn't want any of it to be rooted in reality, right? It's kind of nice if it's on a distance. Oh, I'm watching a movie about the dead coming into our realm of existence. Oh, this is nice because it's fake. Suddenly, it's not fake, right? Because that's the way I see it as well. It's not actually fake, right? Because if it's real in your mind, it might as well be real in reality. That's at least the way that I consider. Like Terence McKenna has this hot take, beautiful one as well, on that seeing language as virtual reality, right? That how we communicate, how we label things in our minds through language becomes our reality, right? And that side of reality might be just as real, but it's not a reality I want to participate within. I value the living. Every living and existing thing shares a spider web made of infinite upon infinite connections. Some of us share some of those connection threads with one another, and that's how we relate. Agreed. Done. Gotta do things today. Love you, Nancy. Thank you for blessing us with your time as well, dear friend. I'm curious, Dan. Take time and take time for yourself. I drowned as a child too. My grandpa saved my life. How about that, Nancy? Fractals we share, right? Even more so. Does it comfort you that the ghosts are watching you? Because I don't find that comforting. Yeah, for me, it's not only ghosts. For me, it's the ghosts. For me, it's the actual dead, right? So those who have passed on from this realm. It's the aliens who occupy different realms of existence and consciousness as well, right? Like I'm being watched by so many things right now. It's like I'm like I don't care anymore, right? Watch me if you want to. I even put the show on when I'm showering, right? I dance and everything. I really wish I was joking. A part of me is like, the things you're saying are batshit insane. Stop saying that. I'm like, but they're true. They're true. Oh, doesn't come for you. There have been more than just Harry too. He's just there the most often. Jane is wholly convinced that she will teach me to put down the anxiety, and then I will be able to see Harry. I'd be like, Jane, thank you. I'm keeping my anxiety. I'm, I'm gonna grip my anxiety like a scared little child holding onto their teddy bear. Scared that there's something living under my bed kind of vibes. Please, no. Don't take my anxiety from me, Jane. No, me too. Drowned when I was young. First time I died. How about that, Joshmo? More. Yeah, me too. Like I was like straight up dead. Like medically, I was dead. They had to resuscitate me. All right, like I can't imagine what that did to my brain chemistry. I'm imagining just like an extreme release of DMT, right? So much DMT, and that's why I am the way I am at this point in my life. That's why I respond the way I do to psychedelics as well, I believe. Like it makes me feel more normal than not, which is, I feel, odd in and of itself. Mm. Can't you see them too, or just feel them? Hey, Beb. Hey, Ashley. Love is true. Give yourself time out. Keep that in mind. Jane is 70 years old. She's had a lifetime of practice. I know, Dan. I'm here for it, bro. Like, fortunately, you friends will literally get to see me continue becoming, right? And I get to see you friends continue becoming. Like, that's the beauty of this fractal that we are in right now, is that sure, Jane has done this 70 years of work, or let's say 50 years of work to become the person that she is. We'll get to do that 50 years of work here, right? Live, consciously evolving together. Because even though it's beautiful that Jane has done that work, it's very hard for her to transmit and share and have other people come along with her on that journey. Where again, that's why I believe this space is a work of art, because we get to do it together. And Jovan DM me about that too. We could hop on a call and I would share. There we go. You died more than once. Dying more than once is badass. Sorry for hitting you. Please stay alive. Like, I believe you me, right? Like, even if you do play in that realm, you'll realize that you're alive for a reason, right? You're here for a reason, seriously. You can die at any moment, but you don't, because you want to live. She sees and hears them joy. She says sometimes they're just hanging out and sometimes they show up to say something specific, conscious shenanigans. The crazy one was when my pop came 6 months after his death. He apologized to me for not ever getting the family right. He said that his father never did, and now he knows his son has failed me too. I guess it's up to you, Brother Dan, to break the cycle, bro. Right? I feel like it's going to be up to us as generation to break the cycles that our ancestors have thrusted upon us. Coastlines are fractal, kind of. You can never accurately measure its length. That is nice, actually. It was one of my most upsetting things I've ever heard, let alone from a ghost. Why? Like, I kind of, even though I get it. I do, right? It's like, ah, fuck, your dad, and then you, and then my dad, right? Yeah, that's brutal. But also, that means it's up to you. It's up to you to change that, to be differently, right? And I feel like that is an honor. That is a work of art that you get to participate within, right? Make the world more beautiful instead of less so. Rabbit, yeah, I've been pronounced dead a couple of times, and I'm so happy that you're alive right now, Brother Joe Schmo. Does anyone share the peanut butter spoon fractal with me? I always find someone else's peanut butter spoon next to the sink or in the sink, but never clean. Nope. We tend to clean the peanut butter spoon, right? You will not know said spoon was used for peanut butter in our household, because that spoon is going to be polished, clean, super clean. But I figure I have to work to do so. That's why I was sitting so wide. Yes, Sam shares the fractal though. Joe, after that, my uncle got me to not be afraid of going into the water again. Have loved it ever since. That's such a blessing. Was that why for me, Joe? Discarded peanut butter spoons are the most detestable thing. That's why I use knives and drop them in the dishwasher when I'm done being gross. But you can't see. That is what individual expression is made of. Again, agreed. I really do. Right? That's the point. We might not be able to determine how other people see or how we see sometimes, but you can value what it is you see, right? And learn from that experience, no matter what it is. Well, that'll be a real problem over here, Shell, seeing as how many housemates are cats without opposable thumbs. Oh yeah. I mean, if you start seeing peanut butter spoons, you're gonna have bigger problems. That's, I think, the joke that Joy Viv is telling right now. She tells me these things for closure, I guess. At least that's what it felt like with my pop. Agreed. I did think of you first, Joy, Peppy. Love is true. Nancy, I love the water. It has become my reference to the balance of life, life giver and life taker, literally. Sorry, catching up on some of your questions, Joy. It gives me some comfort that somebody in my family is with me and cares. So yeah, it does bring me some comfort, bless. How do I know if I've been dead before? It feels like it sometimes, because when I close my eyes, I might get what feels like. Here we go, live again. Ground Sparkle just asked the question of, how do I know if I've been dead before? The way I think of it is, it's not something you need to know, right? It's more something that's just is, right? Like the fact of your being right now, right? We can all agree that you are right now. But in the same capacity, if you die and you shed this mortal coil, you might forget that you were ever living in the way that you are right now, right? And then you could ask the same question, how do I know if I've ever lived before. And I feel like that is the point that I at least try to make to myself, is realizing the cyclical nature of this experience, right? That dying and living are interchangeable, that they flow from one state to another, right? Like the question of where were you before you were born? My answer is dead. You were dead before you were born, and then you were born, and then you get to live, and then you die, and then you're dead, and then you get born, and you get to live, right? And you could get born into multiple different bodies. You could get born as a cat, theoretically, right? Experience the fractal of what it means to be a cat, born as a tree, born as a microorganism, living on a rock somewhere on a desolate planet. Who knows? What I know is that this moment is here right now, right? And then I ask myself, what is this moment for? And my answer keeps coming back as love, right? I am here in this moment to love the trees, to love my brother standing there, to love the doggos around me, to love you, friends, to love this moment that we get to communicate. And that's what we truly have power over. Maybe we were alive, maybe we were dead before this life, maybe not. All I know is that we're here right now. And that's valuable, right? Infinitely so, in fact. Well, that's the real problem over here, Shell. Again, I really like that comment. Happy brings me comfort. Don't mean to be invasive. I'm just overly curious. You don't have to answer. It's okay. Thank you for being curious. Lawazana. It means love, at least in my mind. Rabbit, what would you like to know? Drowned once, electrocuted until my heart stopped once, got stabbed in the chest and died in the gurney. When I woke up to the doctors calling my time of death. What a fucking trip, dude. That took me to like a whole different place just reading those words. Death is not a stranger to me, and death is not dangerous, right? Like that's the thing you really realize in those states of mind as well, is that death is not dangerous, right? Dying is dangerous. That's dangerous, right? Like going through the process of bleeding out, that's pretty dangerous. But dying, it's not dangerous. It just is. It is in the same way as being born is. It is in the same as drinking this sip of water is. As normal as anything else. Being watched doesn't mean all the watchers are malevolent. Yep. Also doesn't mean all the watchers are good, right? I feel like it's, again, infinity. You are being watched by the actual infinity because you are in the smack dab middle of it, right? That there is an infinite amount of time that could have existed before right now. There's an infinite amount of time that could exist after right now. There's an infinite amount of spaces. There's an infinite amount of body configurations. Infinities on infinities on infinities on infinities on infinities, and you right here in the middle of all of it. It truly is a blessing. And especially the fact that it's so stable, right? That I can look to you and be like, the fuck's happening right now? What's happening? Do you know what's happening? You know what I don't know. That's right. Right? It's blessings. Art, if you will, even. Spoons, catch on, rabbit, bring. Death is no stranger. I am wholeheartedly opposed to communicating with the dead, and I advise against it to people I care for. Me too, actually. Right? I think of it more from the perspective of honestly, right? If you're dead, you don't know, right? You don't, sure, you might know something. You might know what you've known, but now there are more things to know. There are things happening around me right now. There are things for me to be considering and decisions for me to be making, depending on what I experience as the living, right? And talking to the dead might steer you on the right or wrong direction, but I would rather kind of, lean into myself, this fractal. Because again, you're opening a can of worms or a can of fractals, because that person's whole life, their whole existence, and then their eventual death has a lot of fractal attached to it as well, right? And you, in talking to that, you might end up opening yourself to a lot more than you might be bargaining for. That's the way I think about it. I don't personally commune with the dead, other than telling them I love them, right? That's usually the only exchange that I have with the dead. Of like, I see them, and they see me, and they try to scare the shit out of me, and then I go, "Love you, I love you too. Oh, as scary as you are, love you," and then they usually melt, slowly but surely. You are a miracle person, 100%. We are eternal, 100%. Not a miracle. I'm just too mean to die, I think. Honestly, I believe I must earn my death before I get to graduate. Still trying to live right so I can pass the class and move on. I feel like you're doing better than you know, Joe Schmo. Is that a Cable? Cable joining us? Talking about art. Of course, Cable has to join us. It's like, what? Talking about art? I art. Me art too. Yes, you do, Cable. Blessings to you, bro. It's nice having you. Today's whole stream topic is about how our art is interpreted, right? Realizing that your life is a work of art and that your life will be interpreted one way or another, and that you do not have power over that interpretation. What you do, however, have power over is your reaction or your attachment to said interpretation, right? And realizing that power, we can potentially free ourselves. I'm trying to find a place for this light. I could get the extra stand, but that's like 2 meters away. So far. Oh, the pain. Oh, woe is me. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Where can I put this thing, bro? Can I put it here? Name. Nay, I cannot. Can I put you? Maybe. Maybe I can. I'm not getting triggered. No. Actually, maybe like this. I mean, it's pulling on my phone. It doesn't have that much structure. Maybe if I do it like so. Maybe if I close it a bit. Oh, sicketh. Oh. Better. Definitely more lit. Okay. Me too, drowned. But I'm pretty sure my sister did it to me. That's exponentially worse. Unfortunately, I can't blame my siblings. I drowned myself. Why do you feel that way, Shell? I mean, I know why I feel that way, but why do you? They aren't feeling so much as knowledge from experiences join. I watched my sister grow through living hell when she invited dead people into her house. Yeah. Once I'm gone, I ain't coming back. Like for what? For help, more often than not, right? Like that's the one reason I can imagine myself coming back after having died. That's why I keep coming back after I die. So I can help. Right? But unfortunately, you might be wrong. Even as a dead person, you might be wrong. Maybe you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe you can't help me, right? And might be hard for the dead to accept that, especially when their own completion, right? Their satori, their release, their nothingness might be hinging on them being able to help you or not, right? And then you don't want to hear that you cannot help. Right, once I'm gone. Like, I see beauty in everything and everyone. So when someone asks me for a beauty standard, it's already here. I get you, right? Like, nothing needs to be added. It just needs to be seen. You need to notice, right? You need to notice the beauty. You don't need to look for it. Invitation to the dead can be refused and reclaimed. If spirits are bothering you, just tell them to leave you alone and that you don't have anything for them. They'll go away. Creating some space. Joe knows. Declare your space and tell them to leave, and then they'll leave. Maybe burn some sage as well. That's what I like to do, at least. Right? Like, the way I think of sage is you're burning smoke, and then those smoke particles take up space through diffusion. right? And then that space that's taken up basically pushes out any ill-intending spirits. That's too small, Melt. I'm hoping to come back as a fifth dimensional beam of light. If not, why not, bro? I would like to come back as a pet, weirdly enough. Maybe I've already been a pet, though. I feel like being a pet to a loving family might be, a very relaxing lifetime for like some rest. If you feed the energies around you, they will stay. Think of stray cats. There we go. Literally. No food, they go away. I'm on the bus now. Original driver got sick and had to turn around. The fill-in guy flew to AC from Virginia to fill in for this ride. That seems a little bit ill-planned, right? If you have to fly people in to ride the bus, right? Like maybe you should hire more bus drivers. Puts things into perspective. Our whole bus clapped. Bless. I hope that you at least appreciate that dude's, hard work. We have Estrog. Susan, thank you for joining us too, friends. Any of you lovins? A Delta flight going from Atlanta to Barcelona got turned back due to a diarrhea incident that left poop up and down the aisle and all over multiple seats. That's fucking disgusting. I'm sorry for the cursing. Like, I'm a oh, my brain is spazzing out just imagining it. Right? I'm a smell person. Being in a locked tube with the smell of diarrhea, I'm gonna start killing people, right? They didn't land the plane because of the diarrhea. They landed the plane because there was someone like me that was like, I'm gonna start killing. I cannot escape the smell. Joe, funny story. I actually know that. And I have the knowledge in my dream world. And when a ghost or a demon approaches me in the dream world, I yell at it to go away. I rarely yell at it to go away. I usually just give it love. Right? It's like oh, you, hey, love you. Right? I don't give any more than that, right? Because all I have to give is love. And unfortunately, they like other things more, right? They like reaction. Love is a little bit basic for them, right? Love is true, but it's not so invigorating, right? You're not going to get stoked about getting love as a demon. Scared the shit out of everyone to sleep. Good morning, all sentient undies. I'm so sorry about my peanut butter spoonage. We love you anyway. Thank you, Susan, for joining us. My only ghost experience was after I put up my other grandpa's painting up in my room. He woke me up in the middle of the night and just threw it in my guts. It was him. I could feel his hands on me, and it was very comforting. Like, we're definitely different fractals, Dan. If I wake up in the middle of night and I feel something I cannot see's hands on me, comfort is not gonna be on the list of things that I'm feeling. I'm gonna start fucking saging the shit out of my house. I'm gonna burn all the sage. All of the sage that I have is getting burned tonight. Bruh. He felt warm and gentle like he was in life, but that was the closest I've gotten. That's pretty trippy, dude. Everything else was just Jane telling me. Entities need to keep their hands to themselves. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. You keep your fucking hands to yourself, entity. Shall maybe try to focus on your ghost while you are awake and conscious. Call them forth and declare your place as sacred and then banish them from your heart and mind. Joe, you're cracking me up. I really love that grandpa, Ray Emerson. He was awesome, and I felt flattered that he wanted to visit me. Bless. We are art, yes. Bless to you, Kevo. Seriously, such a great man, though. World War II vet, loved his family, was carefree, but also serious when needed. Yeah, balance, right? Dan, as long as you know the speech Joe said, and you can do it with conviction if necessary, I think you will be fine. Bye, love. Are you leaving? Seeing you soon again. Dear Shell, blessings to you. True Shell, that's good advice, Joe. I'm going to try that. Love is true. We are not victims to the ethereal. We are multidimensional beings. Yeah, what I believe is you are one of those dead, right? Spirit. But you occupy flesh at the same time. That doesn't mean your spirit version of yourself ceases to exist, right? It still is. And it exists in the plane where those spirits live. So technically, you can be visited in that realm of existence, right? We become so identified with this fleshy version of ourselves that those experiences can be pretty scary when they arise. But as Brother Joe Schmo said, you're not a victim to it. You are a part of it. You are it, right? You are both the beings terrifying you as well, technically, through the multidimensional lens. With the privilege and honor of being able to communicate across space and time, you are more powerful than you realize, my friends. Joe dropping some truth bombs. Do not fear the lessons you have yet to be exposed to. I'm going to write that down. Please do. That's good. Some good stuff. Louisiana. Susan is sending blessings. I might have to come back and revisit the stream. It sounds like it got good, but I got pulled away. We love you. We love you too. Thank you for blessing us. We had some cool chats. I think it's about time for us to pull a card. So we'll finish today's stream with some sacred geometry. Let's see what the universe is sending as a blessing. I give back what I've given, what I'm given, even more so. We are spirits in the material world, intersecting at most. Yeah, that's how I've always felt about it, Joe. Like this person is reaching out to me from a place beyond our 3D space, which confirms for me that we are way bigger than our physical bodies. Yeah, it's true. It's true, right? Because you know it. You already do. You're like, no, Melt, I've been my physical body my whole life. Oh, yeah? Have you ever dreamed? Right? And in that dream space, you could do things inexplicable. You find yourself in a world larger than your physical body. All of that shiznit happened inside your brain, or happened in the spiritual plane. Who knows, right? Like that, in my mind, means you are literally larger on the inside than you are on the outside, right? Because even if I could shrink myself into a microscopic organism, there's not going to be rooms inside me where I can fly, right? Like it's still too small inside here physically for me to do anything, but spiritually, hot damn this space. I've recently had a few visits, some friendly, some not. I wonder if today's Sacred Geometry card is going to be resonating with this stream topic. Try not to squander the opportunity of having a physical form. We are blessed with 5 senses that are not an option in other realms. We are gifted with pain, gifted with perspective, right? Like that's what pain really gives us. Not so much the pain itself, but the perspective that it allows. Having experienced pain, pleasure is so much more significant, and gifted with confusion. Yeah. Are you ready for this card? The icosahedron. Triangles on triangles on triangles on triangles, creating a 3-dimensional platonic solid. Good old Pluto. Plato. You're right. Feelings are the gift. Blue. You were right, bro. It is blue. Card 57. Let's see what it means. I just put it upside down. Oh my goodness! Perfect synchrony. Core meanings. The first one, perspective. Hot damn. Hot damn. That's so crazy. Like, how many times did we say perspective in today's stream? 20 times at least. Realizing that other people's perspective of your art might not be yours, right? Might not be the way you see it. And we did pull it reversed, so the reverse meaning goes as such. Try as you may, you can see no solution, right? We were talking about the dead today. Distance yourself from the situation long enough to regain your perspective. I literally mentioned that as well, right? Taking a step back in the fractal analogy, that your life is an art. Sometimes you have to take a step back and appreciate it. Other people might take a step back as well and not appreciate it, but you need to regain your perspective. Hot damn, that's tripping me out. Yes, Joe, try to stay grounded in this world every day. That's why we show up. Susan, that's why we show up. My goodness, dropping these wisdom bombs, and then you guess the color. I mean, this dude has a foot on both sides of the world, dude. He's peeking over my shoulder right now. Love you, Joe Schmo. Perspective and new beginnings. The icosahedron. with its 20 triangular faces, is one of the 5 three-dimensional shapes called the Platonic solids. The isohedron is associated with the female side of our nature and the element of water. It represents the beginnings of new consciousness. Choosing this card suggests that the subject of your inquiry has been on your mind for some time. You ruminate and question, but you are caught in thought patterns that offer no solution. It is time to seek a new perspective. Ask for inner guidance from the receptive female aspect of your being. Allow the flow to enter your thoughts in a way that release old patterns and activate an awareness of what you need to know to free stuck energy and get things moving again. You may be surprised at how easily you untangle the situation once you see it from a fresh vantage point. Use this perspective to help you see the new beginnings that are set to arrive and move with ease and grace into the manifestation of your dreams and vision. Hot damn. Yeah, that's a trip, yo. Perspective is good advice, the best. Holy shiznit. Meltdown. We are bigger on the inside than we are on the outside. We're all target here, you're right, actually. We're all tesseracts. We're all Hermione's handbags, literally, right? The amount of memories you have inside of this being, too large to be, acted out by your physical form in this moment, literally larger on the inside than the outside. We must remain focused on our understanding of how the world interacts with us. Think of the world like the surface of a pond. Every ripple came from somewhere. What ripples do you create? I have like lines in my book of things we're saying, talking about that ripple nature as well, Joe Schmo. Thank you for echoing that. We are already the Pokeballs. We are. I never really thought of it that way. This is mind-blowing. Like, this is conscious evolution, Louisiana. This makes me so happy. This is the way it is. This is what we're here for. I really do appreciate you, friends, being so stoked to grow, right? Some people will go their whole existences without even considering what we talked about today for a moment. Honor yourself. Honor yourself for being on this journey, for being who you are, the work of art that is yourself. I'm going to play some kalimba just for us to finish today's stream off right. I haven't had my windshield on. I hope that there hasn't been any wind noise. Sorry for the screechy scratchies. Yeah, I'm dying inside as well. There we go. Done. Melty, you inspire these moments, brother. I am a guide at most. I am a shaman. I open space. I cannot heal you, friends. We heal together. Thank you for joining me for it too. You give these discussions a place to take root. Thank you for nourishing the seeds of evolution. I love you and I appreciate your devotion to this world. Kalimba pling plang time. Yeah, this is also a part of my job description, right? As a shaman, I need to make music and allow our community a sense of calm. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. I want to define it as well. Let's see if the official Google definition resonates with us. Hey Google, define shaman. And this might be some cultural appropriation, but I'll take it anyway. Not because I'm trying to culturally appropriate, but because it's a fractal that I can associate with. Synonyms is medicine man or medicine woman, right? We have a medicine mother here as well. Witch doctor, kahuna, angekok. There's a bunch of them. A person regarded as having access to and influence in the world of good and evil spirits, especially among some people of Northern Asia and North America. Typically, such people enter a trance state during a ritual and practice divination and healing. You friends have seen me in a trance state more than anybody, technically. So let's put ourselves in another one, shall we? There's something in your hair. There is. Here it is. Thank you for letting me know. I'm sure you would have taken it out if you were close. Now dance, monkey. I'm done dancing for today, but I can play. I don't know if the sunset vibes are still going to be as beautiful as they could be, but there's still some color to see. Part of me wants to boost the light output to see if we can catch more of that tree. But I think it's spilling more into the lens directly than anything. Turn it off for now. Okay, starting now. There we go. Our stream complete. Look like, there we go. Just came out of the coal mines for a second. Okay, back to chat for a moment. Waiting for our Shan message. Sending out, well, I guess I got in a bunch. I've been told that I have witch doctor energy. I believe so as well, actually, bro. I would. It would be the spirit, the whole spiritualist in a swamp thing, Joe. Bless. Sending out my gratitude to Melty and all of y'all for staying a little late today. I might just sat here annoyed about my late bus, but this chat has been much more soul soothing than that. What a blessing, right? We got to be a little window into a community for the Dan while he was waiting for his bus today. Thank you for actually connecting me properly with that understanding, bro. Love is true. Probably because I talk to plants and animals. Swamp shaman. It sounds like pretty safe, barefoot and isolated. I'm glad about that. Me too. Good chat then. Love you, Joy. You need a cloak woven from the native grasses and gator skull helmet, Joe. And a bone scepter. Apparently, the shamans also have like animal energy. Somebody's calling me right now. I think the person sent me a message as well about, am I done? Let's see what happens if I answer the call. I think if I answer the call, it closes my stream, unfortunately, so I'm not going to do that actually. Leave me alone, person. I don't know who you are. No. Wait a second. You friends are the ones I really share these moments with. I don't seek to express my experiences to the world, but I'm happy to share them with kindred souls like yourselves. We're blessed, Brother Bear, seriously, to have you here with us and to have you be so willing to share, to grow alongside us. Start frequenting small gas stations and local grocery stores, talking about the witch or something you saw in the fog of night. Really lay it on thick until the town believes you. Now you're a myth. Yeah, that sounds pretty sick, actually. Sam, you have no idea how close you already are. I have camouflage overalls with pocketfuls of seeds. I have several skulls around my property. I don't go to town very often. Town comes to me. Love you all so bigly. We love you. If nothing else, you can patrol the bars after close to harass the barflies. That might be a good bit of fun as well. Yeah, I guess a full ghillie suit would be super hot. Yeah, you would literally cook inside. Kind of overkill in Florida, so camouflage overalls it is. Camo overalls would be the best camouflage for Florida, though. You can just crawl in that. So much. I actually have the cutest camo dress. It's one of my favorites. I love you, friends. Thank you. And I hope all of you have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I sincerely love you all so, very super de duper, whoppingly, considerably, cosmically, colossally, mammothly, monstrously, dearly, melt. And all of you, oh so very amazingly, wonderfully, unbelievably, marvelously, mesmerizingly, fabulously, fascinatingly, gorgeously, bedazzlingly, magically magical, and absolutely adored works of art. Friends, as we love you, dear Shan, thank you for joining us as well, for sharing this moment, for making this world a better place just by simply being in it, for providing your canvas and your brush of art to this fractal we created together as well. You're wise and kooky. It's beautiful. Joe, if you were camo overalls with seeds in the pockets, you're probably a witch. So much love. Everybody have a loving day and don't be afraid of the ghosts. They're just people. Some have good intentions. Choose love. Love is true for the ghosts as well, right? Just love them. That's all you have to do, right? Thank you, friends, for loving me. I might be a ghost, all right? Maybe I'm a ghost. Am I a ghost? No, I'm still a real person. For now, at least. See you, friends, again tomorrow. As a person, hopefully. Blessings to all of you. Thank you for joining me. Until we do this tomorrow. Love you. And I'll see you again soon. Cheers, everybody. And goodbye for now.